Hey there, folks. Dustin Zarni here, Democratic Elections Commissioner of Onondaga County, and welcome to Commissioner Card. The primary is tomorrow, and here is everything you need to know. That's right. The June 24th, 2025 primary, the local primary, is finally here. We've been marching towards this event for the better part of, well, really the entire year. As candidates started announcing candidacies in January, and petitions were walked in March, turned in April. We had petition challenges, and then we've had a campaign since then. We've had early voting and vote by mail going, and finally, tomorrow is election day. So here's everything you need to know. First, early voting is over. We had over 1,600 people, 1,644 people vote in that. Over 1,400 of those were people from the city of Syracuse, Democrats from the city of Syracuse, obviously enthused about the mayoral race that is happening. And that's the headline, but that doesn't mean it's the only race. If you're a Democrat in the city of Syracuse, a Democrat in the County Legislative 8, a Democrat in Salina, 2nd Ward, you have choices tomorrow. If you're a Republican in Camillus, a Republican in Elbridge, and a Republican in Pompey, you have choices tomorrow. And if you're a conservative in Elbridge, you also have choices tomorrow. That's what's on the ballot. So, this podcast has been about for the last few weeks. So, well, months. So you should know what the races are. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that today, but I do want to spend time on how to vote tomorrow. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. You have to show up at your assigned polling place. There are 63 polling places in those political divisions that are open. They're all the regular polling places that we normally would open. We've only had a couple of small changes in sites, and those changes were like down the street. So nothing big that has happened this year that would cause people to be confused. So those changes have happened, and they are... but most places are the same polling places that you voted at last year. I think there's only been one. I think it's Cicero, North Syracuse. We're voting at the Michael Bragman Athletic Center instead of the elementary school across the street. So if you're out there, that's one of the only polling changes I know of. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. You got to go to your assigned polling place. If you want to find out what that is, go to onvote.net. You can enter in check your registration. When you check your registration, it'll tell you what party you're in and what your polling place is. Vote by mail ballots. Very important. Tomorrow is the last day to postmark a vote by mail ballot and have it be counted towards this election. So if you received one, you either have to go to the post office, get it in the mail tomorrow, make sure it's postmarked tomorrow for it to count, or you can drop it off at any one of our polling places. And if you have lost your ballot, you can go to a polling place and vote by affidavit. And it will count as long as you didn't turn in your vote by mail ballot. So that's very important by tomorrow. If you have an emergency where you need a vote by mail ballot, an absentee. By emergency, I mean you got to have a sickness or something else. You can request one in person tomorrow at the Board of Elections. We will be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And you may say, well, if it's an emergency, I can't get there in person. You can have someone come there for you with a signed note from you identifying them as authorized to pick up an absentee ballot for you and the reason why you need it. The commissioners will approve that on an emergency basis tomorrow. So polls are open from 6 a.m. 9 p.m. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. But we have been working round the clock for the last 5 days to make sure that the polling places that you are going to go to are cool. Not just for you, but for our inspectors that are going there as well. So if you're an inspector and watching this, know that we've been working round the clock. We've bought fans. We've gotten places to donate fans. We've gotten, most of the places have AC working, and we will have things throughout the day to help you stay cool. So when you're going to vote, we're hoping that this will help you stay cool. The other thing that is important is that, our inspectors are there all day. They're there from 5 a.m. to maybe around 11 p.m. So Governor Kathy Hochul has issued an executive order alleviating the prohibition about bringing water to people in line, and that extends to poll workers. So here's my personal request. If you're going to the polls tomorrow and you have the means within you to do this, get a case of water and bring it to those polling inspectors. They're going to need it. It's hot. They're going to be there all day. They are your friends. They are your neighbors. They are doing this for minimum wage. They're protecting our democracy. Please, please, please be nice to them tomorrow. Please, 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 if you have the ability, help them out. It's going to be a hot day, and there's no way to postpone this. There's nothing to do. Look, we got through COVID. We've gotten through a lot of things together as a county, as Board of Elections. I got to tell you, I'm incredibly proud of the staff, incredibly proud of Commissioner Ryan and the Republican side and my Democratic side. We worked really hard over the last few days to get this ready for you. So please go out and vote. Now, we already had record early voting, so that's great. Vote by mail has not really reached the same pitch as it was in 21 or 23, but a lot of those ballots will come in over the next few days, so I'm not really worried about that. But primary day, this is going to be where 75, maybe 80% of the vote is happening tomorrow. So it's very important for you to get out there. Again, if you're a Democrat inside the city of Syracuse, in County Ledge 8, which is inside the city of Syracuse and a part of Geddes, in Salina's 2nd Ward, if you're a Republican in Cicero, a Republican in Pompey, a Republican in Elbridge, or a conservative in Elbridge, you have choices tomorrow, and you should avail yourself of them. It's very important. The people that will win the nomination tomorrow, in many cases, will be the presumptive favorite to win in the general election. But either way, whether they're the presumptive favorite or not, they're your representatives of your party. You should have a say in who they are. Now, I know that some people will bring up that you should not have to be in a party to vote in a primary, and that's a philosophical discussion for another day. Because what I'm focused on is what's happening tomorrow. Results. Go to onvote.net. Our results will start at 9 p.m. The results will include early voting results, election day results, and the vote by mail ballots that have been received and scanned in, which that was today. It was the last scan, but the scan included anything canvassed on last Friday. So if a vote by mail ballot came into our office by last Friday, which is 90% of the ballots that we've received so far, they will be part of the election night results. And our results caster, I got to tell you, it's second to none. I love our results caster. It breaks down the early vote. It breaks down the vote by mail. It breaks down the election day vote for you. And it is great. So 9 o'clock, that'll start running tomorrow. So check it out. And there'll be nice fancy maps to see where we're having elections and where we've reported. It's a great tool. So at 9 p.m., the early vote and vote by mail will start to populate. And then at around 10 p.m., the first results from Election Day will start to come in. As those things are being driven into us as they close up the polls, nothing is done over the internet for results. The only thing done over the internet is check-ins on Election Day. Check out our Facebook and Twitter feeds at the Board of Elections and, of course, mine. We will break down every couple of hours how many people have voted, so you can kind of get a sense of what the turnout might be. Usually on the Board of Elections, Facebook and Twitter, we'll just do straight numbers. And on mine, I will do, some partisan or town breakdowns. And it really just depends on how busy I am. So, my first thing throughout the day is making sure everybody's cool, safe, and comfortable to cast their ballots tomorrow. If you have moved but you are registered to vote, you can vote by affidavit tomorrow. So if you have moved from another county or even within our county to an area that is having a primary, you can vote by affidavit tomorrow. If you need court orders, we do have judges on all day, but they're not at the board for primaries because there's so few court orders. So we will call them if you come to the Board of Elections. I wouldn't come anywhere before 8 a.m. And remember, a court order is for people who are not registered to vote at all. Maybe you just moved here from another state. Maybe you say you've registered Democrat, but we show that you registered something else. You can go in front of a judge and ask them for permission to vote in the election. This is a little bit of a lengthy process, so give yourself time. You have to come down. The judge has to hear your case. You have to fill out the paperwork. The judge has to rule. Then you have to take that paperwork to the Board of Election or to the polling place where you're assigned and then vote. So this could take up to an hour and a half. I do not expect lines tomorrow. I think... I don't think we'll have a large turnout. I would love to be wrong, but primaries, we usually don't have lines. But again, you have to go to your right polling place. So we don't have a wait time tracker up because you have to go to the polling place where you're assigned anyways. And we don't want people to be confused that they can go to other places. So plus it's a lot harder to track wait time on 63 places as opposed to 5. So, although we will track the wait time. I think that's about it. Elections personnel, somebody asked me today, said, I can't believe you're working tomorrow under these conditions. It doesn't matter. Primary day is primary day. There's no paving that road next week. We got to get this done tomorrow, and we will. The Board of Election staff on all sides of the aisle, the inspectors on all sides of the aisle, they are so dedicated. I am so honored to be working with them. They're going to bring you a nice election tomorrow. So you just have to do 3 things. You have to go and vote. You have to be nice to your inspectors. And maybe bring them some water because it's going to be hot. But also take care of yourself. So that's it. That's Commissioner in the Car. Onvote.net to check your registration and polling place. And you get your results starting at 9 p.m. Get out there and cast your ballot on Onondaga County. I can't wait to see you at the polls.